Hot hike.
This is Gas Money Bob. Bears post-game show. Bears lose to the Vikings, but honestly,
we did it.
No,
we did it.
Nobody lost nothing today.
We all won.
We all won.
Honestly, that was fucking thrilling.
When the Bears
What a
beat the
thrilling
Pats,
day.
we were talking about, we might get a top 5 pick. We might get a top 3 pick. We got the number 1 pick. This is fucking... They're in such a good position right now. They got all the leverage in the world, all the power in the world. This is the best case scenario for this season.
Number 1 picks in our life in Chicago. We had Rose, obviously.
Yep.
Kane. Yep.
I think that might be it. The Cubs Sox ever have it?
Not that...
KB twice, Mark Pryor twice, or second overall.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Thomas was
Taves?
number 3
Taves
overall.
was third.
Taves was third.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Jay Williams was second overall.
Yeah,
I think that
Williams
was the
second.
highest draft pick I can remember in
What
my
was
life.
Elton Brand? He was 2, right?
Allen Brand was 1.
Elton
Brand
Brand
was
great
1.
pick.
Brand was 1. Good
Okay.
call.
Yeah. So now
So I think the point is just how rare this is.
and the first time ever for the Bears, right? First time
Yeah.
ever.
That I could, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like...
Is it all time, like in the history of the Bears' existence?
I'm
it might
pretty
be.
sure Trubisky was the highest.
But they traded
Yeah.
up for him at the same time.
Well,
This is like
one
they got
spot.
a true
number 1.
Number 1.
It went perfectly.
This was the best day ever. This was this is the first time in a long time that I have looked at a Chicago organization and said they're on the right track.
Well, because also it was
They're on the right
It was
track.
hard because once the game ended and then it looked like the Texans were going to lose, I was going to be like, fuck, I don't know what we're going to say because like it's just kind of a downer.
Right.
But then once everything picked up dramatically, it was
you got a Hail
whoa.
Mary and then the 2-point
Shout out Thomas, 27 on the Colts. I don't know who you are.
Oh my God.
You are like my favorite human. Like you're an honorary citizen of Chicago now.
Give
for,
him the
like,
key to the
fucking
city.
That Hail Mary, like the old Tom Jackson, just knock it down, knock it down.
Just go and
like
beat
to
it down.
whiff on that, and the guy just falls right in his breadbasket, and that's how you get the number 1 pick was. And Lovie Smith, the balls
we
to
have
go
to
for
talk
2
about
in that
Lovie
moment.
Smith just a little bit. What a awesome, and he's about to get canned.
He just said,
But
he
what an awesome.
He just said right now, he said, I expect to still be there. So I hope he is.
I hope he is too.
Yeah.
I think he is.
You think so?
Yeah.
I hope
It's 1
so.
year. Like
Yeah.
it's
And
1
they were
year.
so bad, and
It
they
was
played
a
really
weird
strong
year.
like the last 6 weeks of the
Yeah.
season.
They did.
talked about the
They
culture.
very
like-
much so. Yeah.
So we're not. This isn't a Texans podcast, but by any means, like
Fuck
I
up.
think an NFL team, like if you get that type of production last 6 weeks with such a bad roster, give Lovey another chance.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that fucking, was that Cooks there, that catch at the end on the sideline?
toe tap.
Unreal. I can't believe it happened because you look around and it's like, all right, and I'm like, dude, they might go for 2, and then sure enough, they did.
I was very nervous.
And then I'm
was
like,
insanely
wait a
That's the
minute.
right
nervous
play. That's
about
the right
that.
play. If you want to
I
win.
need we're like because we're doing this rapidly. I need Lovie Smith's all-time 2-point conversion percentage. And I know he's a defensive guy, so it has nothing to do with him.
Are you trying to say it's pretty low?
Probably.
It's got to be awful.
In
You
9
mean
years with the
conversion
Bears,
rate, or
yes.
do you mean
Success
likelihood that he does it?
Just-
He's probably got a very low likelihood to go for
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, like it was just fucking, like we talked before, Terry Shea, a nice little wide receiver screen to Justin Gage or something, Like,
Well, I'm surprised people talked about like going
Those
to
days are
overtime.
at-
It's like,
those-
this is
those
week
days are
19.
overrated.
You
Yeah.
think these fucking guys are they're playing for their 3rd win of the season?
Yeah.
You think they want to go to OT? You're like the 5th string left tackle on the Texans, and they're like scheming up like, here's what we're gonna do in overtime. Fuck that. Go for 2.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I watched the Colts Texans
A lot
far
closer.
more closely.
I didn't watch hardly any of the Bears game today.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just came down to what.
You're scoreboard watching. But you're not intently watching like we had been for the rest of the season.
didn't watch all blue
It was
uniforms.
such a perfect storm.
You
From-
weren't trying to get a scout on Tim Boyle to see if he could be
Well-
the backup next year?
Yeah, he's going to give Simeon a run for his money.
Simeon's
Was
back
there a
next
word?
year.
Did anyone see why they pulled? But did Peterman get hurt, or was it just a?
Wait,
can you see
Peterman.
why?
I didn't even realize
Peterman
Peterman.
didn't finish the game.
Yeah, I wonder why, Dave. You're preoccupied with other things.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well,
I just said I wasn't intently watching the Bears game because
Yeah.
I was watching Colts versus Texans because the Bears game was over before it kicked off.
yeah. So regardless, but the Colts game, and it was honestly, I thought a Montreal Screwjob was in play. Which someone's like, dude, you can't be mad. Why are you laughing?
It's just Montreal. It's funny.
Yeah, I
It's-
thought
it's funny.
someone's like, you can't be mad at a team who's trying to tank as well, tanking. And I was like, true. That's
Yeah.
the point. Someone's like,
It's a tank off, and we
because
won.
when they were up, they were up 10 at half. The Texans.
Yep.
And then they came out of halftime, and then the Colts were driving, and like there was a weird encroachment by the Texans. And the Colts went for it on fourth down. I was like, this is
Picked it
funny.
up. Yeah.
McNair put on the call, and he was like, hey, tell fucking Lovey to stop
You're
fucking
right.
horsing around.
Yeah,
down there.
take a couple
You know what I
of
mean?
knees.
Tell him
Yeah.
to stop horsing around.
Yeah.
I was like, something's going on. And I
There
was
was
like,
horseplay involved.
I was like, this
and
is something's going.
there was horseplay.
And someone's like, dude, you can't get mad that they're tanking like just like you are. I was like, yeah, it's a good point.
Any pressure
true.
on Poles that like now he's got a number 1 overall pick, and it's not like we've got fucking Bill Polian making
See,
a pick. Or, you know what I mean? It's like this. He's so wrong.
I
So
think you
it's
got to
like, oh,
run it back to exactly what Pole said when they started this teardown. He's like, this might not work. Like we have a vision and we have a plan and a direction that we're going to do. It might not work. But now at least you can say that the ball is fully in Poles and his staff's court.
That
And it's-
pick is
I-
already.
Is that a good or
It's-
bad thing though?
I think
Because it's like you're a little restricted if you are the 3rd or 4th overall pick,
But
and then you
you-
don't have to
you
make
have an
this
out.
decision. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that pick's already on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh,
Like,
100%. Start the bidding.
It's
Start the
for
bidding.
sale. Yeah.
Start the bidding
So,
right now.
Hey, Lovey, you want the number 1 pick? You can have it. It's just going to cost you a little bit of a premium than it did an
You
hour
should
ago.
have won that. You should have went for 2. You should have
Yeah.
missed that
And
that
that's
extra
what
point.
I hate
that
when
PAT.
teams are like, oh, like it doesn't matter. Dude, this shit
Oh,
matters
this is
in the grand scheme of things. It
Totally.
really does.
It could be 1 extra starter
Yeah.
if you get a high enough pick. Like,
Dude, what's the
Yeah.
difference
Yeah.
between us getting Aaron Donald and what's that story?
Kyle Fuller ended up being like a decent
Sure,
pro,
sure,
but
sure.
still,
But
we
it's
coulda-
like one
yes.
pick 13th to 14th.
Correct.
Or
The Rams,
whatever.
the Rams took Aaron Donald 13. The Bears got Kyle Fuller 14. You know, same thing. Leonard Williams was a much better pro than Kevin White. He went 1 pick earlier than Kevin White. It's like little shit like that you look at, and then you look throughout the trade market. Quarterbacks, it's like amplified a million times.
Yeah.
You know, so it's scary for them. So because whoever
You
wants
know
to
who
give
it
up the
should be
King's
scary
ransom-
for? The Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions are a good football program right now. I think they're on the right track.
Sure.
In spite of they do have issues, but I think the rest of the NFC North should be terrified that the Bears just won this game because they have $120 million to spend next year. They got the number 1 pick.
I don't think there's nothing-
Dude,
no.
come on, Ed.
Dave, there's nothing to be terrified yet.
You-
There's-
well, I mean,
listen,
we talked about this
they're-
last week.
they're-
They need 30 new guys.
Yeah, dude. They're,
I understand
No, listen,
they
listen.
need a shit ton, but the
Yeah.
guys
Listen.
that are gonna be there, they're gonna be there,
They're-
and those guys were fucking good. Like,
positioning wise, they're in a very good spot, but there's still so much
Yeah.
work to do.
no, they're. I'm not saying
Like
there's
they
not.
have, like
They'd be dumb to say
they
that.
went to like they have a fucking company. They have the company card at Home Depot, and they can go and they could buy whatever the fuck they want, but they still got to go buy the best shit. And
I'm
if
not
you
saying
don't know
they
how
don't
to
get
buy
home
the,
and
But
build it.
But
Exactly.
how
Yeah.
many
Like, if
times
you,
in
like-
our lives have they been? You're like, oh, the Bears are going to be good next year, which is, I think, a perpetual
Handful.
feeling that we all have.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it might not. Like I said, it might not work.
No, you can have some optimism for sure.
I'm optimistic
Yeah.
as fuck,
I'm
but you can't say like
99%
I don't
optimistic.
think you're at the position where you're like teams are going to be scared.
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings are sitting up
Yeah.
at night thinking about the Bears.
No.
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 They should be.
No.
I think they should be.
No.
We'll find out this summer. So that's
Right.
the thing. Like free
Come
agency
August,
starts March
July,
15th.
August, yeah.
That depending on how they act in free agency, you'll have a better idea of maybe the direction they want to go in the draft, and then you can move out of that spot, or maybe you fall in love with a guy and it's like, you know what, we're just going to take
take
him.
him anyways, yeah.
Don't?
fall in love with a guy.
Why not?
Because, man,
I agree with that, though. I agree with
Trade down.
I agree with
I mean,
Carl.
like, fall in love with,
I would
yeah.
agree, but like if
If they're like, man, we'd love this guy's surefire number 1.
Yeah.
I
Or-
feel like surefire number 1s are known like 5-10 years in advance.
typically, yeah, but
Like if we go into the draft
Right.
process, it's like, man, Poles really likes this guy. It's like, who is that? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, a huge upside. I'm out.
well, it is one of
Wow.
those things where it's like, all right, let's say that like I'm making things up, but it's like, hey, we love a guy, and the best offer we have is to move back to 5th, and it's like, do we want to take? And then you put yourself in that Aaron Donald potential situation, or just like, you know what? We love Will Anderson. We love Jalen Carter. And if he's not available at 5, then fuck it. Let's just take him at 1. Like if they sell me on that, I could buy it.
Could we trade down like 3 times in a row? we trade from 1 to 3, and then we take the third pick, and they're like, all right, who wants
Flip
3?
that.
And then go 3,
Keep
6,
going.
and then go 6 down to 11,
That's
and
the
just
beauty.
fucking ride that
Possibilities
thing at
are
like
endless.
26.
That's exactly.
And
the,
that's what I
the
said.
amount of
Everyone's like, "Oh,
possibilities,
why
yes.
does it matter? 1 or 2, 1 or 2." I was like, because it matters. Because it's like, if you want Stroud, you want Will Levis, you want Bryce Young, you come see us.
Yeah.
We are the fucking.
That's just the guys that the
we have
teams
the
that need
keys.
quarterbacks.
Yes, exactly. But that's who you typically. You're typically not going to give up a haul to get a defensive lineman to get a. It's
Right.
just not. It's
yeah.
not
No,
typical.
it's only for quarterback.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
But teams
Typically.
do trade up for defensive
Sure.
stars.
Yes, but
especially
I'm saying
edge
a
To the
rushers.
number
haul.
one.
I'm saying a haul that gets your fucking.
No, of
those
course,
RG3
of course.
hauls that fucking really.
But
get your.
my
dick
whole
hard.
point is that to your
Mine's
to
over
your
the top.
point is that the
Hard dicks.
possibilities are endless right now.
They
and
are,
it's such a
exactly.
good. I feel great right now.
You have to, especially the
have
way that
to.
ended. I was so like, I mean, they went down 4 and then they went down 7. It's like fucking
Yeah.
motherfucker. I was like, why did I get my hopes up? And then it was unreal.
I think the Brandon Cooks play was on 4th and like 12.
Yeah, it
Or
was
15. It was like insane. And
was-
then the toe tap and it was
they got.
perfect.
I don't want to say lucky,
No, they did.
but it was pretty
Absolutely
lucky.
did. They absolutely got lucky.
Bears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can I go through a full first round mock now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Peter Skoronsky, Jaguars.
Jaguars.
But no, I mean it's
This is the best situation we could have asked for at the start of the season.
and it's great.
Nobody and there's still time to go, and it's crazy
On
shit
that
can
note,
happen,
let's
but
do
like
a quick-
not a major injury, from somebody we were going to rely on. We have confidence in Eberflus. Like we have trust in polls. Coordinators look, there's
On
enough
that
there. I'm
note,
not really out on anything.
Put it on a pizza scale. Do a quick round table. How do you think this season went in terms of
Like relative
as
to the
a
rest
whole?
of the NFL?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even know how to do a pizza scale for that. But
I'm
like,
saying,
it's a little
but no, I
floppy.
think this was like as good of a
Flop.
season as I mean they were
Some New York
competitive in
flop.
almost
Yeah,
every single
no, I
fucking
know.
game.
It-
Justin Fields took
Well,
1,000
let
steps
me
forward.
answer this. Let me ask it a different way. How many times in recent history has a team with the number 1 pick not needed a quarterback?
yeah.
Like that
wow,
almost
great pick.
never happens.
or
Like,
great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Ever. That's
Right.
what I'm talking about. I think this was like the perfect storm of football season where you win 3
8.6,
games.
Dave.
Trying to think.
All right, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. I'll go 9.2.
I want to.
I'm trying to.
And
No
those
one-
0.8 of a point were only because
year?
Fields didn't light it up
won
passing
that
like
year?
we
In
all
the
kind of would have
Trubisky year?
liked.
Miles Garrett.
Miles
yeah.
Garrett. Who did?
Well,
who was their quarterback?
But that's the thing. They should have drafted like they were.
yeah, they probably should have drafted a quarterback. Yeah.
Because then they just paid a shitload of draft capital and they paid
To
a
go
lot
back
of
and
money
get the
to
guy they
Watson.
coulda-
Yeah.
Yeah.
46 million.
Yeah.
46 fucking million dollars for
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
So it's tough.
Did the Texans own the Browns pick? Right.
I believe so. They got 3 first rounders for him, right? I think.
So
I want to
so
say.
if they have their heart set on Bryce Young, just give us that Browns pick and their number 2 pick, and it's like the reverse of the Trubisky. Where it's like you just move down one spot, and you
yeah,
pick some shit up.
and that's the thing. Like Pole's like you gotta find the Ryan Pace, spot the sucker, and
Yeah.
because remember when we find out like we was like bidding against himself for
Yep.
Mitch to move up one spot.
Yeah.
He got duped by a fucking
John Lynch.
a safety,
Yeah.
NFL safety, not some like Harvard grad.
And in the
Stanford grad.
Stanford. Well, he wasn't. Well, true. Fair point. Point
all
remains
pro,
though.
utterly successful.
But he wasn't there for fucking to go to like finance. He was there for football.
And in the end, I don't think
I watched him play for the King County Cougars.
I don't think the
Not correct.
Trubisky deal was like that hard of a fleece. It was more so like you didn't need to do it.
Right.
If you look back at it, like people like have there's like this like Mandela effect where we gave up like a 1 or something. It was only like a 3 and something
yeah.
like which is still not
an
good.
extra
I'm not,
asset, yeah.
Yes, I'm not saying it was good at all. But there is a
Well,
Mandela
that's because it
effect.
went with a Khalil Mack, where we gave up a bunch of trade
Yes.
capital,
Yes.
and then people just
People-
lumped it in
yes,
there. It's
correct.
like, well, that's what happens when you fucking draft
You're right.
Trubisky.
Wasn't that the year
right.
where their first overall pick was
Mitch.
David Montgomery in the 3rd round? It was like the aftermath of the Mitch and Khalil Mack stuff.
Right.
So
It's like,
and it's funny too. We're talking about trading up. We did give up 2 first rounders for a defensive player in Khalil Mack. So
Yeah.
that's the type of caliber player where but that's already an established person.
right,
It's
he's
not
an
a-
all-pro. He's
Yes, that's
probably
not
a Hall
a
of Famer.
that's
Yeah.
not a drafted player. So, yeah, I don't know.
Great spot.
Yeah,
And it was nice to have a little bit of excitement like that. Like
Yeah.
just get my blood pumping a little bit. That's all I want on a Sunday. because now I just have to pretend like I care about college basketball, and I wasn't ready to do that yet. So
Oh, we can talk about Northwestern basketball all day
that's
long.
not this show. We'll save it for some other time.
So we have the free agencies the 15th of March.
Yep.
The draft's the last Saturday of April. What are the other big?
I think like the franchise tag shit is like a week or two before free agency start, like February 28th or something. Be a big combine year. Watch some guys in spandex running 40s.
It's been a while since we
underwear
got into a
Olympics.
combine, boys.
Yep.
It's been a long time since we were eyeing up a combine.
Ed, what's your 40 right now? Could you beat Mintz?
I don't know if I could do
No.
a full 40 without pulling.
Mint's
something.
like does the treadmill and shit.
You see him? Yeah, he's sprinting up those stairs.
Yeah,
It's quick.
and he plays ping pong really fast.
So you're saying he's twitchy? Is
Yeah,
what you're
he's
saying.
got quick twitch muscles.
He's got some
Yeah, he's
some
pretty
twitch in
quick.
him.
No, and it's weird. The number one pick. I mean, I like 98% sure we're not going to make a pick, but it's weird to be like, you know, when teams make the pick like 2 weeks before, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's weird to be in that position where it's like, oh, the Bears like, it's a foregone conclusion,
I
like
can't-
the deal's done.
I hope that we get a little of like the Roger Goodell stepping up to the podium. We have a trade. Like
Yeah.
that like I don't want it announced before then. I want like the hype of that, almost like when they drafted Fields. where
Here's
it's
a
like how
very
excited
dumb
we got.
question. They have the number one pick. Can they trade that pick like right now? Is there like a start
That,
time?
you're right. That was a very dumb question. I
When-
don't think. Why would you do that?
No, I'm saying if the
I think the rules are fine. Yeah, I think
season-
I think
Well,
you have to
when-
wait for the season to end.
No, I'm saying all right.
The
Once
deadline
the season's
passed.
done, yeah.
Yeah.
Once the Super Bowl's over, you can trade that pick, right? But the bidding's starting like as we speak is the point.
It's on,
I
yeah.
do have a major problem.
Like you said on Facebook.
This is why I
page,
brought up the
Marketplace.
dates, because I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
well, why did I bring up those dates? March 15th, free agency, the draft 27th of April or 28th, and then you get in the summer and you're reporting for camp, and we're all excited about this roster, but looming is probably the biggest thing that the Bears have confronted in forever, and that's, are they going to move to Arlington Heights? And can that, to combat that project or to work that project into like the number one pick, just imagine a world where like we fuck up the draft or like someone drops the ball because we didn't have enough people working on like Ted Phillips is like, put those people on the stadium project, and then we get up to the draft and it's like we ran out of people to work on the draft, like we didn't know what's going on. Like, can the Bears fuck this up and then blame it? We moved to Arlington, it was super hard.
Did you?
He's retiring. Like we have to talk about that for a split second. I think Ted Phillips is donezo, and he's been the I don't want to say X factor, but he's been the guy that's fucked up this organization, and he's donezo now. So it's like
Yeah.
to talk about a perfect storm of a 2022-23 season. You got the number
the
one.
stars
pick.
seem like they are aligned.
They're
in a
a lot.
of different
Exactly.
ways,
Exactly.
yeah.
Does that not? Does it? Like I feel like you guys, your energy's not as
Well-
I think everything is going as perfectly as it possibly could have.
Yeah, up to this
yeah.
point, now
Up
they have to
to
go
this
juice
point.
league.
There's
So, like,
still
up to
work
this
to
point,
do.
it couldn't be
I
any
mean,
better.
still
But
work
now
to
it's
do, but
like
you got Phillips
where
gone.
this goes, it can go.
It's a
also
great
the other
day.
way.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
It's
And
an awesome day.
And I think
Yeah.
we could. I think we could wrap on that note. And I would want to say too, well, as great of a day it is, I do hope. Like I am ready to get winning again. Like I'm ready to stop celebrating.
Right.
Tank. It is hard to lose 14 games. You know, like it is
Yeah.
fucking brutal.
Well said.
Like that was like 10 in a straight. Like those Simeon Jet game and today, and it's taxing. You know.
Yeah.
It's tough not to care and to root for them to lose, and but it's over. Like now, it's like we'll watch the playoffs. You'll grind it out, and let's just hope we could build a winning roster. That's it.
It's probably your most optimistic ever after a 3-14 year.
Correct.
It's a great
Correct.
place to be.
Get the all gas bracelets back out, boys. All gas.
Yep.
There we go. No breaks.
That's your line.
DJ, play that shit.